Hi, everyone. It's Todd Milewski from the State Journal here at the Kohl Center after the regular season home finale in front of a very, very small crowd. I'll get to that in a minute. It's a 3-2 victory for Notre Dame over the Badgers. Notre Dame gets the series split out of this one after falling to the Badgers 5-3 on Saturday night. This series, of course, was originally supposed to be Thursday night and Friday night. Pushed back 2 days because of COVID quarantines in the Badgers program. From what I was able to tell, 9 players in quarantine from late Monday to basically Saturday when they got out for morning skate yesterday. And I mean the takeaway for me here is it's rough for those who played their last game at the Kohl Center here to be playing in front of what I was told was roughly 1,400 people. That's, it's Super Bowl Sunday. There was never going to be a chance that they're going to have a big crowd here, but this was, as I was told, the only time this game could be played. It couldn't have been earlier in the day. I mean, there has to be a certain number of hours between games, and there was a women's basketball game in here in the afternoon. There were no chances, to do midweek games, anything like that, as far as I was told before the regular season ends. The Badgers have next weekend off, but Notre Dame has games to play, so that wasn't an option. And for the sake of getting these games in, which is apparently a priority, this is what you get, is playing in front of other than exhibitions, the smallest crowd I've ever seen at the Kohl Center. And it's it's an unfortunate way, like I mentioned, an unfortunate way for the seniors to go out. Don't know exactly yet how many played their last game here at the Kohl Center, other than Josh S. and Max Johnson, who are in their 5th year. Tyler Inamoto and Tarek Baker were out again, injured, so they didn't even get a chance to play on senior weekend, which has to be eating at them, I know. They didn't get a chance to help out with this. Tony Granato, after the game, said he wasn't sure whether a split was good this weekend. He seemed pretty distressed by things, and wrapped up my time talking with him, asking about the Roman Sean penalty with 1:31 to go. He was hit with a elbowing major and game misconduct that really ended the comeback hopes for the Badgers, and Tony Granato admitted that. Said it's happened too many times this season, where Sean has been penalized for plays like that. I want to get to the actual quote here. You can read it in the story on madison.com. That took everything out of us. It's happened too many times this year where we've had different situations in lots of games. That type of penalty has hurt us. Roman's a player that plays on the edge. It's the 4th or 5th time this year that he's put us in a spot where he hasn't helped our team. He helps our team when he plays hard, physical, and tenacious, but when you take penalties, it's going to hurt your team. And it obviously did there. I don't know whether a tying goal was coming from the Badgers. They had just pulled Jared Moe 15 seconds earlier, and Sean made the hit in open ice in front of the benches. Arm went up right away. There was going to be a penalty called, so either way, whether it was a major or minor, it was going to put the Badgers shorthanded for the last part of the game. But the major means that's his 4th ejection of the season. He already served a 1-game suspension for his 3rd. You get a 1-game suspension for everyone after your 3rd as well. So he's out for the first game at Minnesota in 2 weeks. That's, the Badgers are already thin everywhere through the lineup. I think they're hoping that they can get Tarek Baker back for that series against Minnesota in the playoffs. but that's to be determined. So the Badgers will be shorthanded for that first game at Minnesota. Just want to give a shout out here. Mike puts in a comment here, fun weekend of sports, long weekend. A shout out to the crew that changes over the Kohl Center. They had, and still have one more to go, changing things over, but just a tremendously busy week from Thursday to today and getting things changed over 6 times so far, one more tomorrow between basketball and hockey, and just hats off to them for giving it a chance to even have these games be rescheduled because, this is a multi-purpose building. You got men's basketball and women's basketball also in here. And to be able to fit these games in took a lot of willingness to be flexible from a lot of parties. And kudos to you guys on the crew for doing all the work that you did here in the last few days. The Badgers, I mentioned, have next weekend off, finish at Minnesota. They're in 5th place right now, 3 points ahead of Penn State. Penn State has the tiebreaker if it comes down to that. And Penn State has 2 games in hand, playing both weekends the rest of the way here. And so it seems unlikely that the Badgers will finish 7th. Michigan State would have to pull out of the tailspin, frankly, that they're in to get enough points to make that happen. But it seems like it's going to be either 5th or 6th for the Badgers. Then they're playing either the team that finishes 4th or 3rd in the standings. The first place team gets a bye into the semis. So that's a little bit of a preview of what's coming up a few weeks from now. But, the Badgers, credit to them for having that quarantine situation. A lot of guys not able to practice for 4 days, really. Came out and got a win yesterday in some circumstances that you wouldn't expect it. Legs seemed a little bit heavy at times tonight. Yet they were right in the game. They scored twice to pull within a goal after they got down 2-0 and then 3-1. Matty D. St. Paul scored his 10th of the season, extending his team scoring lead. That came in the second period on a power play, and Zach Erdahl scored his 3rd of the season with about 7 minutes to go in regulation. To make it 3-1 or 3-2. Sorry, they just couldn't get that tying goal, and then at the end, they had to kill the Ashawn penalty, which more or less wrapped it up. Matthew Galida made 30 saves for the win for Notre Dame. He was, I thought, pretty good at a lot of points of the game. And Jared Moe was as well for the Badgers. He made 31 saves. A lot of pressure from Notre Dame at different points here tonight, and he did a pretty good job of fending that off. Notre Dame scored on its first shot of the game on a power play. Badgers were questioning the call on Jack Gorniak that led to that power play, an interference call on a hit right in front of the bench. That they thought that he was basically just bracing himself for the hit that was coming at him, and he got called for the penalty for it. They weren't thrilled about that, but Notre Dame scored on that power play to go ahead, and Hunter Strand made it 2-0 in the second period. Trevor Janicki ends up getting the winner on a play that was reviewed for a potential high stick, and it sounded like it was just wasn't enough to overturn the call from the video evidence. It was close. It was in that mid-range of where the puck contacted the stick. Was it higher than the level of the crossbar or not? Inconclusive, and so that goal stood to keep it 3-1 for Notre Dame. So we will be back in a couple of weeks at the final regular season weekend at Minnesota. Hopefully you'll join me then. We'll have more content coming on madison.com and in the State Journal. So make sure you read those, and please consider subscribing to to madison.com. You can check out subscription options on our site there, right on madison.com. So thanks again for joining me. We'll see you in a couple weeks and have a good night.